Hello and welcome to my demo of a framework for Maptool, a freeware virtual tabletop. And this is a demo of a framework for the DC Heroes RPG by Mayfair. And I'm generally using the Blood of Heroes rules. There's not a whole lot of difference between that and the second or third edition. So what I wanted to do was just show you some of the features of this thing. If you're unfamiliar with virtual tabletops, there's quite a few of them out there. There's Roll20, I think that's the most famous one. Fantasy Grounds is another. There's, I think, dozens. But Maptool is great for a couple of different reasons. One, it's free. So this is totally free. There's a large user community that's available to help support any obstacles you might run into using it. There's a second thing that's really great about it, and it's highly customizable. And that's what I want to show a little bit of in this video is some of the automation that I've built to facilitate play with this particular game. So this view right now is just a map. This is the map area where my cursor is. There's a couple of different windows, and I'm not going to go into a lot of the basic stuff that Maptool can do. There's plenty of other resources out there as far as the built-in functionality that's part of the regular software itself. Instead, I just want to dive right into what this framework can do. And so we've got a little scene here. We've got Batman having to fight off some henchmen that are working for the Monarch of Menace. And so I've got just a simple little map here. And when I hover over one of the characters, you can see the stats that appear. Now, if you're a player in the game, your view is going to be mostly the same. You're going to see a pop-up like this for your character. This is going to be this detailed. However, if you were to do that over a non-player character, you would only see like the name and maybe their initiative score or something. I mean, it's going to be a very limited view for what you can see as a player. But if you look at this, there's a lot of information condensed down into this little pop-up window. And I've arranged the 9 stats in 3 horizontal bands. So physical, mental, spiritual. Okay. And so if you're familiar with the game, you'll probably recognize, like the top row, that's dexterity. So Batman's got a dex of 10, strength of 5, body of 6. Of course, those last statistics on each of those top 3 rows, those are also your health conditions. And so it's telling you his current health status for each of those 3. And of course you can see the others, and that should be pretty self-explanatory. Hero points, initiative, etc. So one thing that I've got that's part of each token is they just as part of the game, right? You have powers, skills, advantages, and gadgets. And so those can be put into a token. They're not visible. Those things are not visible in this little pop-up. There's just not enough room. So instead, I've got little windows that appear. And in Maptool, there's a lot of windows, as you can see. There's a chat window here, etc. The framework itself lives on a window called Campaign. Okay, and that's right here. So if you're in Maptool and you want to open up this file, just to see all the neat buttons that I've built, you'd have to make sure that this campaign window is checked. Okay. So normally what I do is play on 2 screens because, as you can tell, this is getting kind of crowded. So well, actually all of these windows can float. So I usually just grab this and put it on the second screen. But since I'm doing a demo, can't really do that. So let's just step through a quick little sample and a sample combat. So let's just grab these guys. I've highlighted or selected each one by just dragging a little square, and I've got an initiative button somewhere. Let's see, here it is. So there's an initiative window. And it is right here. Whoops. Well, you can't see it. So again, this is one of those windows that would be on another screen. But this gives you an idea of another piece of functionality of this tool. Okay, so solar flare, bug bot. These are from a different little demo I was doing, playing around. So they shouldn't have been there. Sorry about that. I'm just gonna put this to the side because we don't really need it right now. Let's have Batman do an attack. He is first after all. So the way I've arranged this is just A, B, C, and D. Okay, so if you're familiar with the game, then you know that the acting character decides to do something. Defending character can just decide to do something in return, sometimes, depending on what it is. You have hero points, and then you roll the dice. And then, of course, after that, it's a recovery step, after both sides have gone. Okay, so we're going to have Batman do something. I've just got like a generic button here. Let's use it. This is a standard. This is for a standard physical attack. And so let's say he's punching. Okay, so Dex, and then we're going to choose a different number for the effect. We're going to choose strength. Okay. Now we've got a menu that comes up, and this comes up every time that we have some type of an action happening. And these are the combat maneuvers, or at least some of them that are available in the rules. Okay. So in this case, let's say he's going to do a multi-attack. He's got 3 guys around him. And we're not going to do any kind of disarm or trick shots or anything like that. Okay. He's not working as a team. Now, when it comes their time to attack, of course, we can resolve team attacks against Batman. And let's say okay. Now then, this is kind of neat, isn't it? So he's a martial artist. So we're getting a prompt to see if we want to use the battery skill on his effect, right? Do I? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think I will. And the reason I'm hesitating is because if I do this now, of course, I can't do it. I can't use martial arts when the bad guys attack Batman. And that is something the framework tracks. Okay. And let's see. What do we have? Oh, yeah. So these guys get to go next. Now, it's a multi-attack. I'm just going to select one guy to do this because whatever the effect of the attack is, it's going to apply to all 3 of them equally. So this is their opposing physical. And you can see it's got a little F2. You can assign these buttons to hotkeys, F2, F3, whatever. So that's something I need to sit down and be systematic about. But defensive options, and none of these apply. And yeah, you can see there's still a little work to do on this. We're coming up with some kind of system-generated ID instead of the token name. But on top, it's telling us this is for Night 6, so we know who this is for. And it's giving us a prompt here. Do we want to use his skin armor? Of course, skin armor may or may not always apply to a physical attack. So that's the reason we have to ask. And yes, in this case it would. Flame immunity? Batman's not attacking with fire. Sealed systems? No. Okay. Alright. So next we do hero points. This is exciting. Now remember, if you use hero points now, you can't use them to oppose and resist. But, you know, Batman's hoping to take these guys out, so we'll do 4. And let's maybe bump it up a little bit. Now notice that what my limit is. It only goes up to 10. It only goes up to 5 here. Okay? All right. So, you know, just to make this simple so we can remember what we're doing, I'm going to make these the same. Okay. 2 and 2. Okay. Oh, but I think this guy's going to bid. Okay. So he's going to do 1. And, oh, okay, and I was trying to figure out why is it only 1? Because his opposing is only a 1. Like being in the armor, I guess, restricts him to a great degree. Resistance, let's boost that up by 1. So now Batman could come in and bid again. Oh my, well, look at that. I'm kidding here. Okay, well, again, there's still some rough edges with this framework, but I'll get that one fixed. Okay, so we're ready to go ahead and start the roll. So let's do the action roll. Oh, nice! I got doubles. I was hoping that would come up during this demo. Yes, I do want to go again. Look at that! Wow, that's very successful there. Let's see. So, and we can also see in our output the effect of all the boosting. Okay. 7 column shifts, 8 wraps. Now this was a multi-attack, so that 8 is going to apply to all of these guys. So let's just take one of them as an example. And this is just an easy way to keep track of your damage. There's a damage button. Total damage sustains 8. He's only got 5 body though, and he's got 2 hero points available. So that's interesting. Okay, so even if he uses 2, he's taken 8. This guy's out. So all 3 of these guys are out. We'll use them anyway. Shoot. Okay, but as we can see, body's -1. Now, of course, we're assuming bashing damage, right? So it's really 0. But at any rate, these guys are gone. Okay, so, but we're not quite done yet because this guy gets to go. the main henchman. Okay, so he's going to do an attack. Let's see. Now, I want to see what he's got available. Let's list his specifications. And we get a little pop-up window here. He has some kind of gadget, I suppose, that gives him lightning. Normally, when I'm defining a token, if they have a gadget that gives them a power or some kind of a suit or something, I'll just list the power just to keep it simple. And let's use that. So we're going to use lightning. Single target. And just keep it all the same. Okay. Batman. Hero points, maybe? Let's see. Since we had an error, this should not show hero points available, but I'm not sure if it's going to work. Ah, look at that. Can't do it, Batman. Sorry. This guy can, however. Let's see. Now, he's only got 12, 8 and 8. Now, I can't really do this thing, make this thing smart. So if you say 8 here, it's still going to, the second one is still going to go to 8. It should stop at 4 technically, but Maptool's not that responsive in the user interface. But I'll just say 1 and 1. Okay. And with that, let's roll the dice. So F9, or I can click the button. Oh, needed to roll 5? That's a surprise. I'm kind of shocked that you wouldn't need a higher roll. But at any rate, 3 wraps of damage. Let's give Batman that damage. His current body's 6. He's got 100 hero points. Well, let's just take them all out. So we can see here his hero points are down from 100 to 97. Body's unchanged. So the framework's crunching all those numbers on your behalf just to make it easier. Let's pretend, now these guys have got a snare ability. Let's pretend that one of them managed to get an attack off and was able to snare Batman. And he got 2 wraps on his attack. So according to the rules, snare simply reduces dexterity and initiative. So let's say his dex went down by 2. How would we do that? Well, I can modify a one of these attributes. Somewhere there's a button to do that. Oh yeah. So I'm going to give a temporary value to dex of -2. So his dex was 10, and it still shows 10. Why? Give me just a second. Let me try to figure out why it would do that. I don't know. -2. Oh, there we go. Okay, I didn't hit the enter button apparently. So now we can see his dex is only it's been taken down to an 8 because of the snare, right? And then if he manages to take it off, well, we'll just get rid of that. He's back up to 10. So those are just some of the features of the framework here. There's quite a bit more to this. I do want to show one other capability. So here we have the Hulk for some reason. He's in the wrong universe, I guess. But on write-ups, they've got the Hulk built or statted out with a power called Power Reserve. And that kind of gets into the same sort of thing here. So let's pretend like he's going to use 3 points of his, or 3 APs of his Power Reserve towards his abilities. So let's take a look at his specs. Quite a bit of stuff here. Now I like this one, Regeneration. I believe that lets him do a recovery check every 4 rounds of combat, which is pretty cool. If we went up to 9, it'd be every 2 rounds. So let's do that. And if you make a mental note, his dex is 4, his strength is 18. Well, let's use Power Reserve on those. Let's bump that up to 5 and 19. So I'm going to go do that. We're going to put a point of that Power Reserve towards dex, 1 to strength. Look at that. 5 and 19. Pretty cool. And we're also going to add to one of his powers. We're going to add to Regeneration. So I click this Tip Specialty Plus button. And what was that? Regeneration. And he's adding a rank. Now if I list specs, I can see the specifications. Look at that. Regeneration is 9. Pretty neat. So those are just temporary additions. They don't actually change the base values of the token, is what I'm trying to demonstrate. And if I want to get rid of the bonus regeneration, pretty easy to do. There's a button for it somewhere. And I need to change how these temporary powers or skills display. This is it's not all coming through for some reason. So that's another little fine-tuning to do. But as soon as I do that, when we list his specifications again, we can see regeneration's back down to an 8. So, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'm going to make this file available to the group, and as I continue with updates, I'll post something to that effect, let you know what's changed, and I'll also do another video soon showing some of the other features that are available for gameplay. Thanks.